If you like this video, go ahead and hit that like button and go ahead and subscribe. And thank you so much for watching. Enjoy the video.
Somebody has found a spot in my studio.
I gotta try and get this light set up so hopefully I can get light under my hat, because one of the problems, because I don't have like professional lighting or anything like that, so as I'm trying to do all this, I'm trying to keep my hat on, but the hat blocks the light, so I have to try and get light under there, but you know, I don't have professional stuff, so I'm gonna try and make it work, hopefully. Okay, hopefully this lighting does not look too creepy, but like if I turn on the light up here, I get a big shadow on like the side of my face. I look like Domino. I like it so, like the comic book character, not the actual Domino, but like I get a shadow from that. So I have a light here and I have a light here. I guess I can make that a little bit brighter. Hopefully that doesn't look like it's a campfire story or anything like that. But let me go ahead and show you. This is going to be a tour of my books, my library, a tour of my library, or AKA my retirement plan, because I haven't read all of these, but I intend on reading them. Yeah, so let me go ahead and start all of this off. First off, I'm going to start right here. This is not a real book. This is actually a false book, and I'll show you what's in this at the end of the video. But up here we got some this is the end of it. Basically, the books go from here all the way to here. You're going to see at the end of the frame here, all the way here to here, and a little bit here. I want to say, I'm just going to start here real quick. This is a witticism book. It's like some little, like, you know, just little like dad jokes and stuff like that. My aunt gave me this, and I have some ones that I picked out. You know, do you know what kind of dog is best able to keep time, watchdog, you know, that kind of stuff. You know, just little icebreakers, I guess. Dictionary, always need those. Oh, this is an older book. Like I don't have the cover on it anymore. Like I don't remember if I ever saw the cover, but I bought it used. It's Sergio I can't pronounce the name, but it's Mad magazine. Mad as the Devil, and it's basically it's a whole book of his kind of things there. His style of art there. Really funny stuff. Yeah, just funny stuff. Isms is a book that my mother-in-law gave me. Oh, this is 50 Things You're Not Supposed to Know. Ooh. I've skimmed through it. Stupid Science is interesting book, but at the same time it's like it's got some, like, I haven't, once again, I have skimmed through it, but it's like, I don't know if it necessarily says where the information came from. It just says like the odd stuff, so it's like, another dictionary. This is my dictionary. This is like when I was a kid, I would lay, like, I was a teen when the internet came out, so before that, I was basically laying in front of a box fan in my room, in front of a box fan with a spiral notebook, my dictionary, and my CD player, and that was my day. In between school and whatnot. These are some books that I basically got. I think there was a library that was throwing away books, and I don't want to. I wanted to keep these, but I might give them like a giveaway and stuff like that. I think that could be fun. But H.G. Wells' Invisible Man. These are all comics. Not comics. They're graphic novels. But it's all art inside. H.G. Wells' The Time Machine. The Adventures of Sherlock Holmes. We got Best of Edgar Allan Poe. Macbeth. Journey to the Center of the Earth. Oh, this is a book called Sidekicks. It's actually I love the style of art in this. It's really good. But yeah, just really well done artistry. Good story. I enjoyed it. I have read that all the way through. Okay, now on to the main part here. These are two books that were basically given to me by my aunt like a long time ago. It's what is this, the dinosaur one? Yeah, Draw Dinosaurs, and then 50 Airplanes and stuff like that. Pretty good stuff. There's an inscription on the inside of it that says a name, and then it says 1979. So, yeah. I've skimmed through it, haven't drawn any of the dinosaurs from it. I kind of came about my artistry, figuring it out on my own. Just, make my own stuff. Stinky Cheese Man, Fairly Stupid Tales, and the other Stinky Cheese Man and Other Fairly Stupid Tales is a book that I read when I was a kid, and it affected me so much that I remembered it so much, and so I rebought this book, and is just so good in so many different ways. Like, it's so oddball-y where it tells the stories. Stinky Cheese Man is supposed to be a variation of the Gingerbread Man. It's run as fast as you can't catch me, I'm the Stinky Cheese Man. But nobody wants to chase him because he's stinky cheese. But yeah, and then like some other stuff where it's like the ugly duckling. It's like there was an ugly duckling and it grew up to be a big ugly duckling. That kind of different stuff. This was given to me as a gift. But it's 50 movies, greatest movies ever. I think I've seen most of them in here, actually, to tell you the truth. There's a good chance I've probably seen 75% of all that's in here. Or 100%. There's a good chance of that. Far Side Gallery, have read this one all the way. Great stuff. I actually have 2 more books of his in this collection. So, yes. I'm not back, but in my collection, I have 2 more books of his. This is Mad Superheroes. It's basically like a collection of mad parodies on superheroes and whatnot. So, there's really good stuff there. I've read this one all the way through. My wife got me this. It's how to print t-shirts and like the different ways of doing it and stuff like that. I have my own ideas on how I'm going to produce my own t-shirts. Because, like I said, whenever I start making my own merch and whatnot, I want it, until the business hopefully evolves into something bigger than that. But if it doesn't, if it does, whatever the point is I want to make shirts. Like, if you buy a piece of merch from me, I don't want it to be like you're buying a shirt with my logo on it. I want it to be like you're buying a shirt that I made for you. Big book of grim fairy tales and stuff like that. This is a graphic novel as well. But grim fairy tales, and it's actually broken up by like chapter 2, the prisons of childhood and stuff like that, and then all the stories that break down that and whatnot. Really good artistry, really good stuff, very entertaining. I've read this one all the way through. The Time magazines. I have skimmed and through a lot of these, so it's Time magazines, Brain, the User's Guide. There's some interesting stuff. If it didn't take as much as it took to be a neurologist, I would be a neurologist. If it was like the Matrix and I could just download that information, I think I would, because neurology is amazing to me. I think the human brain is an amazing, amazing thing. Also have Time Magazine, 100 Ideas to Change the World. Read this one all the way through. Skimmed through this one, read bits and pieces. As you know, as you see there's bookmarks. There's a lot of books that have a lot of bookmarks. Like, those are the ones I've really read in different pieces, and then there's other ones that just have bookmarks because that's as far as I've read. But this is Secret Societies, and then The Greatest Unsolved Mysteries. So those are good. Okay. Stuff of Legends. I got this one. The only thing I don't like about it is the fact that it works like a trilogy, and so it feels like, and there are other chapters of it, but it feels like it's more or less like, now I want the other chapter or something like that. But at the same time, it's like this was just so much in it that it's like I can do without the other chapter. But great art, good stuff. Bam! My mother-in-law got me for a gift the Action Bible, once again, graphic novel version of the Bible. Imaginary Friends. This is like I think I got this at a convention or something like that. But good comics. Read them all the way through. Ooh. Angel Fire, This was pretty good. I don't know if I've read it all the way through, but like, you know, the art's good. Yeah, I think it was an okay story. Here's one. I got this at a resale shop, but I'm looking forward to starting to read this one. Guerrilla marketing and stuff like that. Here's AFI, how to write great screenplays and stuff like that, and story structure. As you see, it does have a bookmark. I'm in the process of reading it. Creativity Incorporated, once again in the process of reading it. And when I say in the process, I want to let you know it's not an extremely active process, because like in this collection I also have Stephen King's The Dark Half, and I've started reading that, but I haven't finished it. But I started reading it in 10th grade, and when I started, and I haven't gone any further yet. So, like I said, Scary Stories. They're about to make a movie of this one. So, yeah, if you don't remember that, those were fun tales. I remember the one about the Chihuahua. It was like they got a Chihuahua, and then it wasn't a Chihuahua. Yeah, I don't want to spoil it, but. Here's Fletch 2. If you like the Fletch movies, I personally liked the Fletch movies, and I wish they would reboot the Fletch movies, because of the fact that the author of Fletch has written more stuff than just that. You know, just the two stories that we saw. So I'm looking forward to reading this. I haven't started it yet, but yeah. Napalm and Silly Putty by George Carlin. This is one of the books that like I've read. And then, like I said, it's got a bookmark and I'm actively reading it. But it's one of the ones that I can turn to and read and just laugh, because there's some really good, just funny stuff in there. When Does Jesus Come By with the Pork Chops? George Carlin again. I think he has another book, but I don't have that one. I think it was like the first one. I don't have that one, but these are great reads. The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly has a... Not the ugly. No, it's good. Sorry, good, the Bad, and the Mad. It's Strange People in American History. Does have a bookmark, but I have read it all the way through. Good, really interesting stuff on that. The Power of Movies. Actually, I've started reading this, and it was good so far. I just haven't finished reading it. And like I said, this is my retirement plan. I plan on reading all of these in my later years. Music business, I don't even know if, I'm pretty sure the music business does not work the same as when this book was made. But I think one of the interesting things it said on there was that, can you see my bookmark? Can you see what my bookmark says? I don't know if you can see what my bookmark is. Probably can't, but it doesn't matter. But it was interesting that a company can buy a box of CDs, and if it doesn't sell, they can give it back to you for a full refund. I was like, whoa! I was like, that's just a strange concept. I don't know. Okay, here's some of the bigger books. The Bhagavad Gita, which I have not started reading yet, but I did read a book called The Little Book of Hindu Deity. Oh, if you don't know what the Bhagavad Gita is, the Bhagavad Gita is the holy book of Hindi. Is it said Hindi? Hindu religion. The Bhagavad Gita is one of the books. I think there's more than one. But the Bhagavad Gita is one of them. And I read a book called The Little Book of Hindu Deities by Sanjay Patel. And I used that to write down basically a little spreadsheet type deal of all the deities and stuff like that. So I have a kind of guide reference, and I'm using that as the bookmark. But I can't wait to read this one. Because there's a thing that says, there's certain people that will try and make you fear things you don't understand, so you should probably try your best to understand them, and then you'll realize that there's nothing to fear but fear itself. The Bible, what is this? I thought it was the King James, but it's actually the... No! The new Revised Standard Version is what it is. And like I said, there's a whole buttload of bookmarks in that one. But I got this in 1992. And I've kept great care of it. The Quran. Yes, I have a copy of the Quran. Started reading it, but it starts off with just like a prayer right off the bat, which is kind of heavy. And so Haven't haven't got to it yet, but will. Give me some coffee. Book of Mormon. Yes, I have a copy of the Book of Mormon. It was given to me. And once again, I plan on reading it with my other books. Okay, and here we go off of... also have a story about the circus by L. Ron Hubbard. I also have an audio book by him. Then I have this thing called The Slice. I don't know what it's about, but actually I read the bag, Killer Pizza, and so it sounds like it'd be fun. Like, there are people that used to read Goosebumps and stuff like that, but I actually read this book called Gooseflumps, and it was like there was these. It was very funny. It was a spoof on Goosebumps. They only did like 2 books. I wish I could get that good. I Am Legend. Started reading it. This is the book that is the basis of the Will Smith movie I Am Legend. But believe it or not, reading about one person stuck by themselves in a place full of whatever in the world those things are is not that fun of a read. At times. Gotta have some more action in there. Gotta have some more stuff going on. Unless it's written correctly. Don't get me wrong. There's another thing in here where I'm going to talk about this author that writes fantastic, and there's not that much going on, but it's beautiful. Linguistics, I guess. Crime and Misdemeanors. This is a book about a bunch of stupid criminals stuff and stuff like that. Very funny, very funny. I've read this all the way through. It has a bookmark in it, but I have read it all the way through. Great horror stories and stuff like that. Once again, bookmark really early into there, and I've started it but not finished it. But basically, I got what I was talking about. There's a book in here by Nathaniel Hawthorne. There's a story in here by Nathaniel Hawthorne about this guy looking out a window, looking at somebody tending their garden, and it's not that much going on, but like I said, the literary way that it's said is fantastic. The story is called Rapichi's Daughter, but I found out that Nathaniel Hawthorne's kind of big story was the Scarlet Letter, but there's another greatest horror stories and stuff like that a collection that my wife has that has another Nathaniel Hawthorne story in it. I really like the way he writes. Whoa, I need water. Interesting Drug is once again a graphic. If you're like, oh, he doesn't have a whole bunch of Marvel or DC and stuff like that, I try and get the kind of like oddball stuff like that, underground, if you will. Here are the 2 other Gary Larson books I have. Great stuff. Always funny. All his stuff is always just very entertaining. Okay, here we go with this one too. Now, these are some really good stories. This is like, if you like Goosebumps and stuff like that, you would love these kind of stories because they're Tales from the Crypt kind of stuff for kids. And the only drawback of these is the weird name of these, the weird name of the books. But basically, I have Battle of the Red Hot Weenies, and then In the Land of the Lawn Weenies, Attack of the Vampire Weenies. That one has a bookmark. I'm not done with that one. The other ones I have read all the way through. Invasion of the Road Weenies. Beware the Ninja Weenies. If you haven't checked this out, if they're at your like book fair or something like that, check them out. They're really good reads. But funky title name, still good. Handbook for extreme worst case scenario handbook. This actually came with a DVD because back in the day they had these DVDs comes out and the DVD pack would have like a DVD and then like something extra that was entertaining like this, and I want to say 30 days, and I have a 30 days a night beanie that came with the 30 days a night. Anyways, that stuff's a fun read. As much as I believe I need to read this, I'm trying, but it's hard to get into. The Iliad and the Odyssey. Just like picking up a copy of like It, where it's just it's a lot of book. Choke by the writer of Fight Club. There was a hurricane and the power was out, and basically I counted how many chapters were in here, and then I counted how many days there were until the movie came out in theaters, because we had to go to a special theater that was showing it, because the one that's closest to our hometown wasn't showing it, and so did that. So I'd read as many chapters as I need each day, and then I was done with the book by the time the movie came out, and went and saw the movie, and the book was way better. But yeah, as it usually is. So I decided to get another book by the same author, and it's this one. Have not started it yet. Well, no, I think I might have started it. I don't know. I basically haven't fully read it yet, but I'm looking forward to it. My mother-in-law got this for me. I haven't even started it. I know they made a few movies about it, and it's really hard to watch because every movie I've seen about it, I don't know if I'll see. Boom! Method Man. That's right. Method Man has his own comics. If you didn't know, Method Man be fighting some stuff, doing some kung fu and whatnot. The kung fu, I'm sure you were positive. He's like, yeah, 36 Chambers, what's that? But yeah, Method Man has his own comic book, and I was like, that's awesome. I'm so glad I was able to find that. Sleepy Hollow, Legend of Sleepy Hollow. This book was given to me, and I know the Legend of Sleepy Hollow. Peter Pan. I got these books, and then I found out they were abridged. I was like, I don't really want an abridged version, but well, whatever. Got this one, haven't read it. Got this one, haven't read it, but I hear Dean Koontz is good. Wait, no, I have. Oh, good. Oh, crap, I do have a bookmark in it. This is the book I read. Okay, this is the book I've read into, but that's the other book I haven't even started. This book is awesome. If I was ever to adapt, if they were like, hey, we want you just to adapt whatever in the world you want, just adapt a book into a movie. I would want to adapt this one into a movie, because it was such a fun read and so spectacularly oddbally that it was just very entertaining. Yeah, I want to say like a would it be a murder mystery? I don't know. There's, I guess somebody gets hit by a truck at the very beginning there, and you got to find out why. But was given this the deluxe official bartender's guide with a whole bunch of just like different drinks and stuff like that. At one point, I got to like try and make the drinks in here. That I think that could be a fun little series or fun little like episode ender or something like that. Oh, and here's Stephen King's The Dark Half. Like I said, I have not got that far into it, but I started this in the 10th grade, kept the book, never finished it. Hence why these have become like my retirement plan. Bam! Pocket Guide to Magic. Yes, Pocket Guide to Magic. Once again, bookmark in there. I'm actively reading this one. This little magic thing by magic thing. Reading it. Once again, this is a library was throwing out books, and I was like, you should probably not throw those out. That could be cool to keep those. Don't know what that one is. Haven't even started that one. Maybe you want to hand me down to the girls or something like that. Are these it? Yeah. R.L. Stine, before he wrote Goosebumps, wrote it. Oh, somebody's calling. Whatever. Wrote a series called Fear Street, and I've got 4 of the Fear Street books. This one, it's hardcover. Can you see it? Oh, sorry. It's The Surprise Party. What is it? The Overnight. Ooh. And Lifeguard Massacre. Oh no, the dead lifeguards. But yeah, I'm actually I hear that they're making a movie of Fear Street, and so I'm interested to see those. So I'm interested to try and read those before that comes out, stuff like that. Ender's Game. It was I mentioned that I had read this, that I got this. I haven't got it all the way through, but like I said, somebody loved this book. Look at all these bookmarks and stuff in there. But I bought that used. Bad Guy, by the based on a story written by the guy who wrote the story for Event Horizon, which is like one of my top 5 movies of all time, because it was just awesome. It was a haunted house except in space. So it was just really well done. I want to say before it was by the director of the Resident Evil movies, before he just started doing nothing but Resident Evil movies, and it's just original and very, very awesome. Road Dogs, Elmore Leonard, a book. This is the sequel to Out of Sight. The The power just went out. That is wild. Okay, well, I will have to continue this at a later date. All right. Okay, I'm back. The power went out and blew a breaker, whatever it was. The lights went out. But anyway, Out of Sight is one of I believe an underrated movie that was fantastic, and then like Elmore Leonard, like the way that he writes is great. So I'm really looking forward to reading this. I haven't got around to reading it though, but Out of Sight was awesome, and I'd love to see a sequel to Out of Sight. And Elmore Leonard wrote a sequel, so should be awesome. War on the Flesh. I have read this all the way through. Once again, it is. Okay. Or a graphic novel. Was it a graphic novel? It's great. I think it was great. Tales from the Crypt. Once again, graphic novel. Makes fun of Twilight and stuff like that, spoofing everything. Oh, Identical Strangers. This is about two. This is written by two girls who are twins, and they didn't know they were twins until they met when they were in Paris, because of the fact that they were orphans. And back in the day, when they were orphans, it wasn't against any laws or anything like that. It seems kind of like a bad thing to do, but they separated the twins, and so they were children. They were separated. They didn't know they had a twin until they found them, and then they basically did some research on other times that happened, and showing how their lives paralleled one another, but at the same time, it's like they didn't know of each other, but their decisions seemed similar and stuff like that, and then like other stories about that and whatnot. I'm really looking forward to watching this, watching it in my mind movies. No, yeah, really looking forward to reading this. Bam. Last Kiss on Earth. I hear that Netflix is making a show of this, so I'm looking forward to reading these. My little one read them. I was like, "Are you done with those?" He's like, "Yeah." I was like, "Then I want to read those." So I'm gonna put those into my collection. This is Saving Face, a book that was a compliment to the DVD of School for Scoundrels. Funny read, very satirical, not to be taken seriously. And then I've read that one all the way through. This one is Hollywood, and just a lot of stuff in there. Once again, active bookmark in there. I've definitely skimmed through it. I believe that's everything. Oh yeah, there is that one thing. I should probably do that. I'm gonna turn the lights on differently to do that though, so you can see what's in there. Yeah. Okay, what is in this false book? I'm ready to find out. Okay, what is in Farewell to Arms by Ernest Hemingway, Fakebook? It is my old bric-a-brac, if you will. My old camera. Remember the flip camera, and you put it right there, and it had all the features and stuff there. Yeah. My first phone. Yep. Sorry about the fingernails. Yeah. That's my niece's doing. I got some tapes there that probably need to be turned into digital content. This is my first camera, like my personal first camera. Like a lot of the stuff that I was recording when I was little was when I was little, it was basically me annexing my mom and dad's camera. I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna take your camera," and so I'd be like, "Can I borrow your camera?" And they'd be like, "Sure." So I just borrowed their camera, and yep. But that's my first camera. It's been through a lot. Then a couple tapes, some small dominoes, a patch of corn. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I don't know what. Oh, there's a fortune in there. But yeah, this is where I keep like my old stuff. I know my old school. Yep. But that's what's in there. Thank you so much for watching. So, yeah, thanks for watching. If you like this video, go ahead and subscribe. If you want to see more videos like this, go ahead and hit that like button. If you want to go ahead and see more videos like this again and again, hit the subscribe button. Just hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. And thank you so much for watching. Tell your friends, I don't know, what's on your bookshelf, okay?